I'm Melissa.
And I'm Mike, and welcome back to the last episode of the year.
Because it's the last episode of the year, we have a drink.
Yeah.
I had to put ice in it because it wasn't chilled.
It wasn't chilled.
So I
we,
put a
we
thing of
planned
ice.
poorly, so.
Cheers.
Happy 2014.
Actually, it tastes pretty good. That is pretty good.
That's not bad.
It was a mini bottle.
So, we thought it would be a fun topic for today, since this is not only the last episode of the year, but I think this is the last episode of season 1, and we're going to start season 2 with our next episode. Actually, not our next episode, because our next episode is going to be
Best of.
a best of, which is what I think Spotify refers to those as like bonus episodes. So it's not going to actually have an episode number. I think we'll find out. But not to get too into the nitty gritty details, we thought a fun topic would be, since we are at the end of the year and we're about to go into 2025. We thought it'd be fun to talk about New Year's resolutions and our thoughts on New Year's resolutions that people make and how they work out, and then to also talk about what our kind of hopes and thoughts are for what we'd like to see happen in 2025. I'm just going to start off with my hopes. I hope we finally get flying cars, because Back to the Future promised me those in 2015, and we still don't have them.
Was it 2015?
I feel lied to. Yeah, because original Back to the Future took place in 1985, and we went back 30 years to 1955, which sounded crazy to me at the time. Like, gosh, 30 years. And then the second one, they went forward in time 30 years to 2015. And we didn't get the flying cars, so Doc Brown lied to us all.
Which, that's crazy, because that doesn't even sound like that futuristic. But
I know.
remember when even 2000 came, and it was, even 2000 was looked at as like so futuristic, and like,
I wonder if in the year 2000 we'll still have to breathe air.
Like the new millennium.
Yeah.
And it was just.
Yeah, well, see, and being that I work in IT, like it was a big time for us IT people, because nobody knew what was going to happen with it, and it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't so like a lot of effort was put into with computer systems. This is not our topic.
Yeah.
But a lot of effort was put into with computer systems, getting them ready for and like, for people who aren't familiar with the problem, computer systems prior to 2000. They were storing the year as a 2-digit number, which works great until you get to 99, and then you've got to flip over to 00. And now, last year looks like it's 100 years in the future, because you only store 00 to 99. So, and there were various reasons why they did that with computer systems, previously, but. So that was everybody was worried, because they didn't know. They were like, ATM machines aren't going to work, and all the military computers haven't been fixed, so they're going to have problems. We had nothing. But as far as New Year's resolutions, what do you think about New Year's resolutions?
I think they're nice. I think it's good to set goals for yourself. I think that's good any time of the year, though. I don't think you need to wait until a specific, time marker to do that.
Right.
But, I think us as people, we just naturally do that anyways. I think it's just a personality trait thing. You have some go-getters that are like, tomorrow I'm going to do this. But then you also have the, I'll start that diet on Monday.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's very normal. And I think, if the new year gives you some motivation to set a new goal for yourself, go for it.
I kind of agree with what you're saying. I think you shouldn't. I think you shouldn't wait to set goals. I think like, and a big one is people go, oh, I'm gonna start getting more exercise, or I'm gonna get fit.
Yeah.
And I think that, and as somebody who's been, overweight and has struggled with their weight, especially when I was younger, and more so, I've gotten more fit as I've gotten older, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I've learned about that kind of thing is, like, if you're doing it based on some arbitrary, well, I gotta set a
January 1st.
Yeah, okay, here
New
I go.
Year. Yeah.
And I think it's not gonna work out. And I think you see that because like I work out at home mostly now, but when we used to go to the gym every evening after work, and we would see like first couple of weeks in January, the gym would be packed, and then by the probably by the time you get to the beginning of February, it would go back to the normal.
March,
it would go back to the normal capacity in that, and like all the good intentions of people doing that to, using that, I guess, as a motivator.
Yeah.
I just think like the motive. How do I always put it? You like someone else can't motivate you to do something. They can maybe inspire you to try, but they can't motivate you. The motivation always has to come inside you, and like for those kind of things, especially, I think it has to be that something inside you says, it's just time. I'm done.
That's just what you want to do.
Yeah, and you're not gonna. My point being, you're not gonna wait for January 1st to do that. You're gonna do it when that motivation hits you.
No, yeah, and I think that when you feel some type of way about, okay, I want to. I mean, I guess I'll use it as like I want to get in shape, or I want to, get better with my money, and save money or something like that. I think that a lot of times with that type of stuff, you kind of have to just hop on that motivation while you got it, instead of, sometimes if you say like, yeah, you know what, I'm feeling like that's what I want to do. I want to save money. I want to start saving money. I want to build a better budget. I want to eat better. I want to start working out more. You kind of got to start it right while you're thinking about it and you're already feeling that itch, because it might go away. By the time January 1st comes, you might be like, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. And well, so speaking of that though, do you think some of it too is the idea that over the holidays we do two things, right? Because the two you mentioned are very popular ones, I think. We do two things. We eat way too much, and we spend way too much money.
Yeah.
So it seems kind of natural that people go, okay, it's a new year now. I'm going to start eating right. I'm going to exercise more, and I'm going to, look at how I spend my money.
It's like after a night of bad drinking, when you're feeling hungover.
Never doing that again.
Yeah, I'm never drinking again, I swear.
Yeah. So I do have some for those who are statistics people. And I don't know where this is from, but it's from a reputable source.
Let's just appreciate the fact that you have real facts.
I know, right? Because I put a little effort.
Otherwise, you would have been like.
So this is talking about last year. It said 3 in 10 Americans made resolutions, which is kind of low. I thought it would be more like 50-50 maybe.
3 in 10 made them.
Yeah. But I found this one interesting. 62% of people who made resolutions felt pressured to do so. So that right there tells me you're doing it for the wrong reason.
You know where I think that comes from?
What's your New Year's resolution?
No, I think it comes from.
I'm gonna eat less cheese.
Yeah, I think it comes from like, just because when the New Year comes around, there's so much pressure from just other people on like, that's just a big conversation topic that I've personally heard of. Oh, so New Year, what's your... Don't mind our cat in the background. I'm sure you guys can hear him.
If you can hear him, he's going through something.
Yeah. So I think it's a lot of pressure from it being like, hey, so New Year, what's your resolution?
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's just a normal question. At my job, actually, I think it was our meeting, not last week, but the week before. It was kind of our last big meeting before the New Year. And that was something that they had us do. It was so awkward, y'all. Like, I hate the moment of like, oh, go run and introduce yourself. I hate those type of situations. But it was like, okay, guys, like, I want everyone to talk about one of their goals for this new year.
Right.
And,
to me, that's different. Like, a goal for the new year is different than a resolution.
True.
Like a goal, because to me, a goal is something that you say, okay, I want to get this done, and then maybe you go back and you plan out how you're going to do it.
No,
where
for
a resolution is just like,
like some people
I'm going to hit the lottery. Like they're just.
Some people were in there like, oh, I want to travel more.
Yeah,
oh, I'm gonna eat better. Oh, I'm gonna like it's same. I think it's the same thing as a resolution. Um, and even with that, I kind of look at it like not that everybody has to be content in what you're currently doing, but I don't know. I think it kind of goes along the same vibe of a resolution of
Yeah.
you're asking me what my resolution is, and I'm just gonna be like,
Well,
maybe like eating a
right.
little bit less, Starbucks or whatever. Like, I don't know.
Right.
I feel like it kind of pressures people to make a resolution.
Right.
You know?
Right, and that's when you're talking about that. Like, okay, I want you to set some goals. Yeah, that's different. I think people personally setting goals and putting, mapping out a plan to achieve those goals. That's very good, like that. But that's not the same thing as resolutions. That's a different topic for a different episode. 79% of New Year's goals involve improving health, which makes sense. Everybody's going to go on a diet or go to the gym or, start taking vitamins. I don't know.
I should set that.
Start taking vitamins. You do. You do need to take
more
vitamins. Yeah, you do. Because this is not a paid advertisement, but that's one thing that we started doing. Like, probably during COVID, heavily. We started like, I mean, we always kind of have, but we started more taking them. And I've noticed that like when I get sick, I don't get sick as long, and I don't catch things as easily. I feel like better most of the time and that. But only 6% of adults will make a resolution to travel more. So, which makes sense to me because I feel like that's like an odd thing to. You know what I'm going to do this year? I'm going to travel more. Like,
I think that takes a lot.
Just do it. Like just plan it and do it though.
But even then, because there were some people in that meeting who were talking about like travel was actually a big thing that a lot of people were saying in that meeting.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, American culture doesn't give people that much vacation time, and
that's true.
How can I make a resolution to travel more when I have only 2-3 weeks of vacation, and I also need to plan that vacation around days off during the holidays and stuff like that. And even then, like, where am I traveling? I can't go to somewhere like Europe and only take a short amount of time off. I can extend my vacation and take a Friday and a Monday off, and now I have a 4-day weekend at the beach. Sure, because we live in Florida and we can do that stuff. But like, there's a lot of places to, do a staycation. But in terms of traveling more to other states or other countries, you need to, have a good amount of vacation time, and
yeah.
And so then not to mention the price of all that too.
It's funny because I feel too like that's probably, if you're talking about like people, doing resolutions to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that like the older generations would do more than the younger generations maybe because of everything you're talking about. When you're younger, you tend to not have been in a job long enough to have a decent amount of vacation time. Yeah. You probably, aren't making as much money, so you can't afford vacation. Like when we were also younger, when you guys were younger, we didn't go on a lot of vacation. I mean, we did bring you guys like to Disney every year or to Florida every year, but
in terms of like taking a week off to go to
like
even just a different state,
Italy.
Yeah, or Italy, like your Italy cruise. If you think about it, you guys traveled to a lot of places during that time, but you had to take 2 weeks off. Like usually that's people's yearly.
Yeah, your
PTO
allotment. Yeah,
it wasn't even using my whole.
What's funny though? I was thinking about that, and I didn't take 2 weeks off because there was like I took like a week and a half, and then in the middle of that week was Juneteenth, which we got as a holiday.
Yeah.
So it was like I took like 6 days off
plus the weekends, counting the 2 weekends in it. That's true.
Yeah, so it worked out good for. So there's a there's a little tip. Try to plan your vacations around holidays
that you already get off. No, that is a good idea. Like if you think about it, even the Christmas week, if I took a vacation during that week with Christmas in the middle, now I'm automatically getting those weekends.
Right.
Which is like 4 extra days.
Yeah, even
like
if
you leave on a Saturday or a Friday night, come back on a Sunday.
Right.
That's 4 days that I'm already getting.
Yeah, those are free.
And then
Those are like bingo, the free space.
Yeah, literally. And then the week of, I get Christmas off.
Yep.
And then you get
a
few free hours on.
If that's your
Christmas
resolution,
Eve.
there you go. That's our pro tip.
That's our pro tip.
Let's see. Wow, this is
Girl
interesting.
Math.
It says more than half the New Year's goal setters plan on improving personal relationships and learning a new hobby. So
that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, there are some that are good. Like if you're, I guess it all depends. Because I always view New Year's resolutions, and maybe it's because of the whole gym thing that I mentioned, as things that people say they're going to do, and then large percentages of them don't actually do. So that's
because
where like those are yeah. Well, I also there's that part of me that feels like it's if you're waiting till January 1st to do it, you're not, the motivation isn't really there. You're doing it because of that 67 or 69% number who feel pressured. It's because you feel like you're supposed to do it.
But some people I think are motivated by like a start date.
Yeah, I mean that's it, and those are probably the people that are successful then.
Yeah.
That actually do achieve what.
Like some people are motivated by the idea of, okay, Monday I'm going to wake up 6 a.m., go to the gym, have a productive day.
That now, I had a different article that had different statistics, but that was AI generated, so, take that for what it's worth. But it said recent research has shown that just 9% of Americans actually keep their resolutions throughout the year.
9%?
9%.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But again, going back to my original point, though, I can understand that, because if you're doing it because you feel like that 9% are the people who are using that push for resolutions as something to, okay, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And then they, if they had said on, December 13th, I'm going to do this, they would have done it then. They're just using that start date as kind of an opportunity to kick it off.
Yeah.
And I feel like the other 91% are the people who are going, okay, I guess I got to do something. And then they say they're going to do something that they don't really put the effort into.
Mm-hmm.
Then this also has some suggestions about a planner or a journal, which goes back to what I was saying, is like anything like that. If you don't think of it as a resolution, think of it as a goal. Like if you don't plan out how you're going to do, like the vacation thing, right? If you say, I'm going to travel more, and you say that on January 1st, and then, that's the last time you think of it for the year, then you're not going to travel. If on January 1st you say, okay, and I get paid, this much every week, so I can, save this much out of it every paycheck to go and travel, and so by, middle of June I'll have enough money saved to go on a trip, or or whatever, and and okay, and let's see, I get this much vacation. You know what I mean? In other words, if you use that and you start working towards it, then you're gonna get it done.
I think that's just like a personality trait, though. Like I've tried to be the girl with the planner and doing that, but I also like to be way more, I don't know, going to the beat of my own drum. Like I think the only time that I'm ever like to a schedule and like planning things out is when it comes to, I guess, like my work day.
Mm-hmm.
And even then you can have bumps in the road that it's like, oh well, I planned on doing this between this time, but now this happened, so I can't.
But I think if you start out with the plan, at least
I feel like
you're more likely to get it done than if you start out and say, I don't know what I'm doing today, I'm just gonna. Because if you start out with a plan, then you've at least got
structure.
You've got something in front of you. Because I know,
that's true.
One of my goals, not resolutions, one of my goals for this year, like at my job, we not to get into the weeds, but we don't really have like a formal system for people to report problems or put requests through.
Oh, like a ticket system?
Yeah, because we're a very small IT staff.
Mm-hmm.
And we just because the company's relatively new, and that we just haven't put that in place for our side of things anyway. That's one of my goals for the year, because it just will make it easier. It's the same kind of thing. If you've got a task list in front of you of these are the things I need to get done, then you at least have something to work off of. Where otherwise, what happens is what happens now. The last thing that somebody mentions to you is the first thing you're working on because they make it appear, or they give the perception that it's the most important thing, or you get the perception that it's the most important thing because it's the last thing that was mentioned to you.
I've done that before with like house stuff. Like if I have a bunch of stuff to do, just like at the house, like cleaning and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've done things where it's like, okay, I'm gonna make a to-do list.
Yep.
Of like clean laundry, fold laundry, change the sheets. You know, I think that always is helpful because I think to an extent, depending what it is, it at the very least it'll keep you on track to complete that goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to the grocery store. If you make a list of the things you need at the grocery store, you spend less because you don't get as distracted by the shiny objects.
Still can get distracted by the shiny objects.
Yeah, well, but you also spend less because instead of going there and getting 3 of the items you needed and not all 5 because you forgot 2 of them, and then you have to go back a second time, and then you still get distracted by the shiny objects when you go to get those 2. So you end up spending, you end up doing twice as much, potentially anyway, doing twice as much impulse buying. This is interesting. 23% of adults quit their New Year's goals by the end of the first week of January.
The first week is crazy.
The first week is
you should. But again, 23%. It said
23. Yeah, so almost a quarter, almost 1 in 4, almost 1 in 4 are done by the. And it also says watch out for Fridays because apparently a lot of people quit their New Year's Eve resolutions on Fridays. So, which I can understand that because like,
all right, we're at the weekend.
You're going to the gym or you're on a diet. Like Fridays are the worst things. It's like, it's Friday though. I just got off of work. I don't feel like going and working out. I want to go to happy hour. So there goes both. Literally. You're now not going and running, and you're eating happy hour food. Which by the way, I am as somebody who does work out, I am very much in favor of.
Your motivation is happy hour food.
Yeah, that's right.
I love happy hour.
So, switching gears. What are your, I'm not going to call them resolutions, but what are your thoughts on what you'd like to see? And it's not just like, I'm not really looking for resolutions so much as what do you think is going to happen and what would you like to see happen in 2025?
More happy hour Fridays.
More happy hour. And flying cars.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I have some personal ones for myself, goals. So my goal actually, when they talked about that, was just to be better at saving money because I really like spending money. I really like, going shopping.
Yep.
I like going to Target, getting a bunch of groceries, and then buying myself something cute. I enjoy doing that. But
it's not that you can't do both either.
No, exactly. I want to be better at saving money and then also having like a small set aside of like, okay, but I'm also going to treat myself because, I'm not one of those people that, I don't go get my nails done. I do my own nails at home. Right. I do my own hair at home. I don't go and do those like beauty regimens. I also
do my nails and hair at home.
I don't do a lot of those beauty regimens that like other people do where like they spend their money there in that self-treat way. I go shopping.
Right. And yeah, I mean like if you ever listened to Dave Ramsey or read any of his books, like he's he's big on like planning it out, and going back to planning, right? And saying, okay, these are the bills. After the bills, I've got this much money. This much of it I'm putting aside for fun things.
Yeah.
This much of it I'm putting aside for savings, And he even has guidelines for all that stuff. So you might want to.
And I think it's better.
Didn't somebody give you?
I do have his book. Yeah. I have it.
I think he has guidelines in there for like, this is how much you should be saving, and this is how much you should put towards, your kind of fun money, that kind of thing.
And I think that's important because I think a lot of people think that like saving just means like spending money on your bills and like not spending anything outside of that. And sometimes, that's really all you can do. Right. But that's why I think that, then, when you do have extra money, use it on something fun.
Right.
think that's important. So that's
Yeah.
like my goal, pretty much. My goal one year was to get more organized, and I did. And I've
There
been
you
pretty
go.
much organized ever since it
So
started.
you're in that. No.
And it started a habit, because that's also, I think, the important
Yes.
part is that, don't just use it as like a resolution in terms of, I'm going to do it. And once I get there, we're going to just like, okay, that's fine. Because that's where I think that's where I say it's kind of might be a personality trait at one point. Because if you're just not somebody who truly wants to be that, you know, money saving person, or that workout person, that person that is working out every day, or and taking that time, or that person that is like being organized or whatever, like you really don't have it in you to like set that time aside or whatever,
Right.
you're not gonna stay there.
Yeah, and I think
it a
you're right.
habit.
You got to stick with it long enough for it to become a habit, and
That it's like
and it's
second
not long.
nature.
It's
Yeah.
like I know with going to the gym, like
Mhm.
I tell people now, like I enjoy running. I do enjoy running.
Yeah.
I used to hate running. Like when I like was younger and played sports, that part I hated most about sports was running.
Yeah.
I just never it was just never something I liked to do. And but with like workouts in general, like when you get used to working out every day or a couple times a week or whatever it might be, like the days when you don't do that, you really feel like you're missing something, you know? So, and that's
Yeah.
true of anything like that. Any positive, positive habit that you build, like after you do it long enough for it to become a habit, if you're not doing it, you feel like there's something you're supposed to be doing that you're not doing, and it's not.
Yeah.
That sounds almost like a negative the way I'm putting it, and it's really not. It's actually very much a positive. I can't tell you the number of um, number of days that I wake up that I'm like, I really don't want to work. I mean, okay, it's every day. I wake up and I'm like, I really don't want to work out today,
Mhm.
and then I get to that point in my morning where I'm usually starting, and I just go and do it because it's such a habit and guess what? Every time I finish, feel great. I feel
Yeah.
great that I've gotten it done, that I've gotten it accomplished. So, and like I said, I think that's true of anything like that.
I think it's also good to just at the very least, also just keep your goals realistic too. Like don't try and go above and beyond. I think even when it comes to working out, like maybe even instead of making the goal of like I want to work out more this year, make it like I just want to be more active. So even if it's not getting that gym membership and going to the gym, at least start in a baby step of going for a walk every afternoon.
Sure.
Or, if you're not really somebody that likes doing the traditional workout of running on the treadmill and lifting weights and doing all that, then find like a sport you like playing
Tennis or
tennis. Yeah.
pickleball or yeah, that's exactly it.
I
Just
think
something to be more
like
active. Yep.
dancing, or
Yeah.
like something that at least makes
Rolling
it.
down a green grass hill.
That's my workout. That's what I go and do
It's my
every
favorite workout.
after work. But no, I think like keeping it like realistic and within arm's reach, and with anything. Like again, instead of even when it comes to like if your goal is saving money, be like, you know what? I'm going to keep it realistic. I want to try and at least save like
I'm gonna cut out
$100 in this amount of
Right.
time, or because also I think like an end date also helps.
Right.
Like if it's getting healthier, I want to lose this much weight
Right.
by this date. I want to fit in this size by this date. I want
Right.
to save this much money by this date. It's more closed in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's having a deadline is it like it kind of goes back to the whole thing of planning too because like and a personal example, your mom and I were both trying to lose weight for a cruise a couple of years ago, I think. And we paid for this app called Noom, which yeah. And it was really good because you told it how much you were trying to lose, you told it when you wanted to lose it by. It gave you a whole plan of this is how many calories to eat a day, all that, and it gave you tracking and all. It was really good, but having that end date on it, like, gave you something to really work towards. Because especially in that case, like we had a reason that we were doing it, so it does give you something to work towards then.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then like you're also building a better habit while you're doing it. And, if you go above and beyond that goal, like that's even better. But yeah, I also think it's just super important to make your goals realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Realistic and just less open air.
Yeah, not to say don't challenge yourself, but
Mm-hmm.
crawl, walk, run.
Yeah, exactly. Crawl,
So,
walk, run. That's cute.
and then the other thoughts I have for the year, it's going to be an interesting year because not to we don't usually delve into politics a whole lot, just because I don't see the purpose of kind of alienating half the population because the country's so polarized right now. But um, with kind of the change in administration that's coming in, and some of the other things that are going on, sort of related to that, sort of not. I'm going to be very interested to see economically. That's what I get while I do that.
That's why that's
While
because
on the
we're
podcast,
drinking.
but economically over the next year, I'm going to be very interested to see what kind of turnaround there is, just based on changes, um, kind of changes in policy and that kind of thing. I think that'll be interesting to see this year. What happens to the housing market? Because the housing market and both purchase and rental has been just so crazy over the last, like, I don't know, 5-ish years, something like that. So it'll be interesting to see if things get a little bit more, if things calm down a little bit. What happens, with interest rates, which impacts everybody. It's going to be, yeah.
Do you have any goals?
Do I have any goals? Um, I think saving as I get closer and closer to the age where I say, I just want to retire now.
Yeah.
I start to think more and more about it. Not that I, haven't all along, but you think more and more about it.
Yeah, no,
Probably
for sure.
probably taking a trip this year. Probably taking a cruise this year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because we.
You have points or something.
Yeah,
don't
we
you?
we bought this thing on the last cruise we were on, so we have like these deposit credits that we can use, and then we have another credit because the price dropped. Then we have only a certain amount of time to use those, so we'll probably take like a nice little relaxing Caribbean cruise. So that's
Fun. Those are
if
always
that
nice.
counts as a resolution. There, I've made one. And I don't know. I don't know what else.
That's what I'm saying. They're kind of
A
hard.
couple of years back, we did a bucket list thing of doing a half marathon, and
Oh, that's right.
I don't know that I could see myself doing one again.
I feel like you already did it. I feel like you
Yeah,
guys aren't really.
yeah. It's nothing to prove at this point. It was definitely an experience that in the it's like I talk about working out every day. I enjoyed it in the end when I was done, and I could look back and say, "Wow, I did that." That was an amazing feeling. So would it be fun to do it again? Yeah, maybe someday, but I don't know. You know.
Yeah.
So
I want to take a vacation this year. I would say that.
you should do that.
Yeah.
You
Just
should
like
do that.
I just
Work
want
at
to do
it.
like a little weekend trip.
Yeah. Yeah, do like even like we used to do, find a condo down at like New Smyrna and that. Like those are so
Yeah.
because it's just,
That's what I want to
it's
do.
just chill, you just relax and like we
Mhm.
did that Marathon Key last year, which was nice. It was really nice. But I don't think we're going to go do something like that far away this year. We might do
Yeah.
kind of like we used to over in
New Smyrna.
New Smyrna again.
Tampa too.
Yeah,
Tampa,
we
it's
we
so
were looking over
beautiful.
there too. Yeah, because it's not that much further, and it's
yeah.
it's really nice on the Gulf side of things. So
Mhm.
yeah, we might do that too this year.
Oh my gosh. Sorry,
Yours
guys.
has to be to start taking more vitamins.
I know. I'm sick right now, and I feel like I don't even know if I'm sick. Yesterday, I felt like it was allergies, but then last week we were both really sick. We just had a sick household. And even he said like it's the sickest he's been like in a while. Like it lasted really long.
So
now I'm sick. I feel like I'm getting sick again. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But I've had a cough for like a week.
You should start. You should. I think we talked about Zicam, right?
I need to take Zicam, but I also need to take what is it? Elderberry.
Elderberry, yeah, take that. Yeah, that helps too. I mean,
Really good for my cough.
So every morning we take a multi. We're kind of like people would think we had a problem, but we take a multivitamin. I take vitamin C, zinc. I take turmeric. I take what else? Forget what else. B12. Like we take a moldy and all those, and I don't know if you're supposed to do that, but we do anyway, and it's been working for me. So, because even like I said, now I also have taken.
You take vitamin C.
Vitamin C, yeah, and sometimes when I feel like I'm getting a cold or something's coming on, I'll do one of two things. I'll take extra vitamin C and zinc, or I'll take Zicam, because that like if you wake up and you're like, oh, my throat feels like scratchy, like I'm gonna get sick. You take the Zicam then, and then it never gets worse than that.
So no, I definitely have to re-up our whole like.
Yeah, at least you should start taking like a vitamin, like a multivitamin. Yeah, because that just.
I might do a multi and like vitamin C. I don't know.
The problem, yeah, vitamin C too. The problem is that like as Americans, like we don't eat very healthy, but RFK is going to take care of that for us. But we don't eat very healthy, so
he's gonna take away Fruity Pebbles or whatever.
No, he's not taking them away. He's just gonna make them the same that they eat in Europe. That
just
don't
eat a bowl of berries, y'all. You could just eat a bowl of berries.
Bowl of berries and
Did you actually see that? I saw on I think it was probably TikTok or something, that it was like people were making these like healthy cereals or whatever. It was literally just a bowl of different fruits, like berries and stuff, and then they would pour milk or like almond milk or whatever over it.
Wow.
And it was fruit cereal. And that's what people were doing.
That should be a thing. Now, the only thing is you got to make sure that the fruit is like not pesticided and all.
Well, you're supposed to clean your fruit and stuff anyways.
True. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how we got on the topic of cereal, but
I have cereal at home that I've been actually wanting to eat, but there's never a moment that I.
You're not a big breakfast person. See, I have breakfast every morning. I either have oatmeal.
I just don't think of eating cereal in the morning for breakfast. Remember that was on our first episode.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I eat cereal for a snack, so it's healthy cereal, by the way. But it's because
you know what's funny though, and
healthy
now, granted, if we're talking about the whole RFK thing, the cereal's not because of the other stuff that they put in, but
yeah.
If you strictly look at like the nutritional information on healthy cereal versus the sugary cereal, that like they're not that much different. Like it's not that much different, from say Cheerios to
because it still has sugar.
Cheerios to Oreos.
But that's just anything you get in the grocery store. Like it's gonna have preservatives. Yeah. Like it has to be, it has to last on a shelf for a certain amount of time. I saw this thing on Instagram the other day, and it was like, remember when Special K tricked us into, or Special K came out with a diet, and it was just eating Special K.
that was a genius marketing play. You say that, and I think of the Special K.
It was people eating Special K literally for like lunch, breakfast, dinner.
It's low calorie, so you would probably lose weight if you ate that all, but you'd also get very sick of it.
Like I'm on day 2.
Do you remember the Special K that had like freeze-dried strawberry slices in it? And when you pour the milk over it, they were like they were strawberries. They became regular strawberries somehow.
That's what I have. I forget what cereal it is, but I think it has freeze-dried strawberries
fruit in it. And see, I like oatmeal.
What a concept! With
a little brown sugar and fresh blueberries in it.
Yeah, you make good oatmeal.
So good.
Sure.
But so my New Year's goal is to eat more oatmeal, which would be really weird because I eat an awful lot now.
My New Year's goal is.
You know what? Here's both of our New Year's goal. Our New Year's goal for 2025 is to quadruple the 6 people who watch or listen to the podcast. No, that'll be for a different episode.
What?
The numbers on how many viewers and all that. We'll discuss that maybe in the next one for the best stuff. But for now, Happy New Year and
Happy New Year.
We
finished our drinks.
We finished our drinks.
Cheers. Salud.
Yeah. And be safe New Year's Eve. And we will see
Don't drink and drive. Call an Uber. I think they're free on Christmas.
No, AAA. Yeah, AAA does free. But they say don't depend on it. Like, don't have that be your plan. So.
Oh, dang it.
Yeah, like don't be like, don't go out and be like, no, it's fine. I'm going to call AAA. That's not. Don't go out there. That's just if like you went out and you didn't expect to drink, and then you drank, and
I think that's why I would never be able to be an Uber driver, because I just would not want to have to deal with like the drunk passengers.
That would be, yeah.
Imagine being sober, because when you're sober and you're just around a bunch of drunk people, you're just like
for a little bit it's fun, and then it starts out fun, but you know it's like you know they're being all goofy and you're laughing at it, and then they keep being that way, or they get worse, and then it's like, okay, I'm done with these people. So you figure by the time they get to the Uber driver, they're already at that annoying point, or the Uber driver has already like taken, you know, 4 carloads of those kind of people home, and they're done.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah.
So. And even if I know if you like throw up in an Uber, you have to pay for it, but like, and that's great and all. But now I still have to clean up your throw up.
Yeah, and
there's like, nothing worse.
It would have to be. It would have to be like the fee would have to be pretty high for me, because otherwise that would be the last day I would ever Uber somebody.
I think it's like the fee amount is the same amount of like how much it would cost to
get it professionally
cleaned.
Yeah, but I still got to drive home with that. And if I don't clean it myself, if I wait to get it cleaned, because it's New Year's Eve, you know, it's not like you can take it to somebody right then.
Yeah.
Then that smell's living in my car. So
awful.
The smart Uber drivers should have the little bags.
Doggy bags. That's a good idea. Shout out. Yeah.
So there we go. That's that's my pro tip for the Uber driver. Like they wouldn't have already figured that out.
Doggy bags. Yeah. Some of them hook it up. Like some of them will have like bottles of water.
Oh yeah, I've had a few like
chargers in the back.
Yeah, I've had a few like that too. Yeah.
We took one recently, and the person had like a screen in the back.
Yeah, same. I had one like that when I was out in LA. Yeah.
Like y'all go all in. That's how you know it's somebody's full-time job, when they have a whole setup like that.
Plus, they're trying to get the really good rating too.
Yeah.
Which, like, when you go to that extent, you deserve it.
Right.
You know.
Anyways.
All right. Well, we will see you next in 2025. Enjoy the rest of 2024, and thanks for watching.
Bye.